right, so maybe you've been inundated by these ads that pop up telling you, how you can be this multimillionaire and how you need to succeed and how you need to go out and chase that ambition and be all that you can be and all those different things where you need to hustle, get out there and do it, and the sky's the limit. um, I'm not like that. All right, what I do, and I've had to learn how to do this, is to set realistic goals. Okay, and also I guess along with that is realistic expectations. Because when I was younger, I was a daydreamer. I may have been in class at times, present in the flesh, but absent in the mind. I would daydream about get rich quick schemes and a fantasy life. All right, with it was pretty cool, pretty lavish. But as I got older, I started to see the reality of that, or the reality of that not happening, which is okay. And I started to see that I could accomplish so many different things, but the thing is that in order to accomplish some of those goals, I would really have to overextend myself to the point where life kind of wouldn't be worth living, in the sense that I'd be working all the time, I'd be stressed out, I wouldn't have time for my family, wouldn't have time for friends, and a big thing, and you say, man, how's this so big? I wouldn't have time for free time and exploration for myself. And I think that that's very important, and it's kind of foundational actually, because if you don't feed yourself, how can you feed other people? You see what I'm saying? In order to care for other people, you need to make sure that you are built up yourself. That's what I've come to realize. And so I started to be able to give myself the permission to set realistic goals. All right? Not the goals that have been pushed on us for so long through society. You know, you need to have money, you need to have influence, you need to have success. We have this magnet on the refrigerator. I picked it out. I was like, wow, this is cool. If at first you don't succeed, redefine success. I thought that really made a lot of sense. Because hey, my goals when I was that daydreaming kid in high school, looking out of the window in French class, je ne sais pas le français. Okay? Maybe that makes sense to you French people, French speakers. That's about the long and the short of it. Maybe if I'd been paying more attention, I'd be able to speak French. But the fact of the matter is that I was so busy looking at this fantasy realm that it was hard to see what was in front of me and be able to appreciate what I could do and what was in front of me. And I also had this big idea of lots of things, huge houses, money, and all that. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want to do, as long as you're doing something that's legal, something that's moral. But for me, I realize now that a little for me is a lot, in this sense. If I do something that's manageable for me, where I can get involved in things that feed me, you know, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And if I can be a part of my family's life, not be gone all the time, chasing this dream, then I'm living the dream life that I wanted to have all along, right? I was in this restaurant, a chain, I guess it's nationwide now, Jimmy John's restaurant. If I was on location, they let me in the doors right now. I would record that saying. But the bottom line is this. The gist of it, the nutshell version is this. There's a man. He's a fisherman, and he was approached by a man who's on vacation. Oh, what do you do? Well, I catch fish. Oh, wow. So what do you use? Oh, I have this boat and I catch fish. So what do you do every day? Well, I catch some fish and I go home and I take a nap with my wife, and then we cook dinner and we spend time together as a family. And the man said, wow, but don't you realize that you could, instead of just being this independent fisherman, just kind of wasting your time napping all the day and spending all this time with them, you could go out and you could hire other people to fish for you. And you can get a whole fleet of boats and you can bring in just all kinds of fish, and then you can sell the fish and you can manage these people and you can work really, really, really hard, and then you can retire and be able to spend time with your family and take naps with your wife. And you get it? The guy was living it. He had realistic goals. He wanted to go live his life in a way that allowed him to spend that time, that allowed him to make ends meet, that sustained him not only physically but emotionally, spiritually, and he could be present in the lives of those people that mattered the most to him. So, that's my thing. Maybe that's yours too. At the end of the day, when you're done with this race, what are you going to have? You're going to have a bunch of junk? You're going to have a bunch of things here, there, and everywhere? Are you going to have a lot of stuff? Are you going to have a lot of different connections? If that's what makes you happy, okay. But as for me, after finishing this course, living my life, I would like to look back on the experiences that I had, the things that I got into that were meaningful to me, being there to watch my children grow up. And maybe, if time permits, I'll be able to see my grandkids and stuff. And that's what's important. So, yeah, my goals went from this down to this. It's manageable, makes me happy. I'm probably not going to be making the national news or the international news or maybe even the local news. Probably a lot of people won't know my name. But you know what? I know who I am. And the people that are important to me know who I am. And that to me is very important. And a reason why I say to set realistic goals. Hey, thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you in another one. Bye.